We are HTLA Radio One. You will lower your shields and prepare to be boarded. We will add your distinctiveness, your advertisers, and your sponsors to our own. Resistance is futile.
This is Monday, December 2nd, 2013, and if you can hear me, then you are listening to Straight Talk with your host, this intellectual Kate Taylor, and her co-host, the unequivocally amazing Christopher Crash Jesus Taylor. This is HTLA Radio One, the world's best talk radio on the world's first all brilliantly exceptional, all utterly original talk entertainment programming ever. Not only is this our seasonal launch for all of HTLA, but it is our first Straight Talk since I took maternity leave to have our son Tristan. A lot has happened in a year, but the one thing you'll find is that we are still the call on the carpet, call you out, teach you how to survive stupid commentators, and outspoken global conscience that we have always been. And we do it with manners. So keep your iTunes, tablets, and browsers locked in with us as all of our shows resume.
That's right, honey, and it just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it?
It sure does.
So what do you think about that HTLA Radio One website, huh?
Oh, the new one.
Well, not the new one, because they haven't seen the new one, but we actually did a sort of a redesign on the old one.
Oh, right. So
right.
The premiere...
The red carpet premiere...
room.
Hootenanny, as it were.
Right. No, it's beauteous. It's just beauteous. But I can't wait until the Flash one is revealed.
Yeah, well, with the new shows that we got coming up this year, of course, you're going to be looking at things like, On the Boom, and the very controversial show. We're getting a lot of controversial things in the email about that. The lifestyle show.
Oh, right. Yes. Yes.
And, of course, the resumption of our ever-popular shows, which, of course, this being Straight Talk, hello.
Yes.
Crash Talk, yes, the wonderful Crash Talk. Real Talk.
My dear to my heart favorite, yes, can't wait, Wednesday.
Absolutely. And, of course, the old standby, Sex and the Kitty.
Oh, yes. And great advice on our rehearsals for the webisodes that we had talked about, that if anyone can possibly do so, to go and re-listen to the original seasons, for all the lessons there that we had done, and, try to get them in one six-pack kind of sort of thing.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Well, you better explained it than I did that day, so.
I can best explain the six-pack, yes.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
yeah, it's not the one on the tummy
No.
that I've been going for 75 years. No, it's the other six-pack.
No, not that drinking one.
No, not. Oh no, of course.
Not
I would
the
never,
drinking one.
never, ever be a proponent of drinking at all whatsoever. No,
Not six-packs, only cases.
that's right.
Right.
So with all the booze talk in open conversation now, it just makes me want to think about what's going on with tonight's show tonight.
Well, it's a seasonal premiere, and, generally we have our standards that, we get our seasons rolling a bit, and, kind of from the break previous, before we start having guests and doing the serious meat kind of shows. So tonight I'd actually thought, with all the sentimentality and reminiscing, and now, being having a newborn, you get kind of mushy and things like that. So I thought it was time to kind of go through the scrapbook of this, our baby, that is Straight Talk, and, talk a little bit about how it came to be, the kind of transitions it's gone through over the years, and, so we're going to review Straight Talk and as a show, and how we discuss the latest in societal conscience and why these issues merit our attention, and also how our guests fit into each show and in what way, personally, too, to them. So.
Well, and don't forget why our listeners should stay right here for the unvarnished truth.
Yes, our observed, combined, realized, unvarnished truth.
Well, tonight's less structured, guest-free episode is always my favorite type of show because, I'm my biggest fan. It's like crash talking with you interrupting me is what it is.
Yes, and we all know how good I am at that. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, speaking of meat, and before I get into it, the meat of tonight's show really is, how about we take care of some station business, fine sir?
Right you are. Station business. Well, tonight's edition of Straight Talk is sponsored by... no guesses?
No guesses. Who's it sponsored by today? This is the new season. I haven't done anything corporately to...
Well, glad you asked then. It's good to bring it up. We are sponsored by PreSonus. That's the fine selection of audio gear that we use here and you can use there, and here and there. It's all good.
Everywhere.
It's all everywhere, yes. So the fine folks at PreSonus have ponied up to support several of our shows.
That's right.
I've also got Chevy, lovely Chevrolet vehicles. Katy Perry apparently got herself a Blaze or something.
Did she?
It's in one of the commercials, I swear.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know what they paid her to buy a Chevy, but...
Well, I'm sure they gave her one. I don't think they made her buy one.
I would make her buy one. Yeah.
Yes, you would.
13 grand, Miss Perry. Sorry. And then also, I should mention that the show is always sponsored via Fierce Kitty Omnimedia.
Oh, yes, yay.
Now, to keep up with all the news and happenings, you can visit for yourself, HTLA973.com.
That's right. And as I was mentioning a little earlier, the upgrades are going to keep coming. We've got a new Flash site with dazzling imagery from our talented graphics department. And, it's going to be amazing. And, of course, all of our newest season of webisodes will be there in crystal clear HD.
Absolutely. Actually, we're webisoding the video aspect of this show right now. We're not streaming it, so it's not available for viewing right now. We'll have to edit out the naked Chris and the Kate's hands wandering everywhere all over the studio. So
that's just my nerves, Daddy.
I was thinking we'd call it the nerve. Yeah. So the Flash website, that's because I like being naked so much, we decided we'd go with a Flash website. So that's
it's
currently...
not a Flasher website.
No. So it's currently under construction, and it'll be unveiled in the next coming weeks here. And everyone listening actually should really go and register a free profile at HTLA973.com to keep up on all the upcoming amusements and amazements, as well as the exclusive notifications and access to what's rolling for us next. Yes, the Taylors. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter for the station. It's, of course, HTLA973. For this show, it's at StraightTalk973. And for my beautiful wife's personal Twitter, you can tweet her or twert her or something, of course, at Fierce Kitty Kate.
Well, thank you so much. You are incredibly sexy and brilliant, and it's tweeting. Yes, it's tweeting.
Twerking. Tweet. No, that's Miley Cyrus's Twitter.
Yeah, that's her Twitter. Right?
Okay.
So in addition to my Twitters and things and the shows and the stations, for my nonstop visionary husband's latest stuff, you can find out what he's up to by following his Twitter and tweeting him at Crash Talking.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Thank you. You know, nobody promotes me like you do, honey.
Or me, you, Daddy.
You know it. Finally, remember to join us here every week because we're going to be bringing our celebrity guest lineup shortly. And if you've been a fan until now, then you know that you never know who's going to show up on Straight Talk to talk straight. Now, before we roll on with the show, honey, it's time to say...
And I'm so excited, too, because it's the first time of season 4.
Right.
So is everybody ready?
Hold on to your butts.
So tonight's show is...
Powered by Procast.
Oh, yeah. Woo, it's even better than I remember.
Hot damn.
Oh, yes. That's just awesome.
That's in HD.
Yeah. It's lovely. Okay, so tonight we're going to do, like I said, kind of an homage to the show that started it all for us. And we're going to talk about how the unique concept of bringing the top guests in fields of entertainment, academics, politics, and literature to Straight Talk to discuss topics relevant to either their work or something personally attaching them to the topic, was begun. And sort of it's our own evolution as who and what we are, both personally and professionally, as well as what's happened on the air for our listeners and fans to be a part of. So this show and our guests have made us better, as their input has made this show better. So the whole of HTLA was begun in this vein 4 years ago to just, I guess, do better. That was what it was about. It was all about better, bigger, better, that sort of thing. So where we are now, we feel it's fitting to pay tribute to all it has been and all it's grown to be.
That's very true. From foreign threats to parade seekers, a term you'll hear us explain in future shows, I'm sure, to the degradation of entertainment that has been leading us all the way from the point, to the even more urgent crumbling and the foundation of who and what we are at the core of home and family.
Right.
I certainly can't remember a more unstable time to try and build or do anything.
Well, exactly. And that's what it is. A great many of our guests, although they're in the top of their field in entertainment, like I said, and literature and whatever it is that, like our one guest that paints, you'll see The Active Dog, it's on our website.
Right.
He paints portraits in homage to all the shelter dogs that are killed. Mm-hmm. So the shelter, as they're euthanizing these animals, give him a photo. Mark Brown, give him a photo of the deceased pet, and he will actually paint and then auction off the painting and donate that money there. So, but there's that human side of that story as well, what led he and his partner to begin this charity and get into this kind of work. So, it touches on the core of just about a lot of things. It's the human stories as well as, not just because we have celebrities on. It's not at all about their celebrity. Sure, we promote whatever they're doing, lately.
Yeah.
But if you'll notice when we did the premiere for 5 Days of War, the show was about the film, obviously, but it was also about, the cast's experiences with the people in that village that had endured that and, how they translated their own personal human experiences and what they learned and how that allowed them to grow.
Well, I remember actually at the premiere, talking to Andy Garcia and John Scheck about the characters and the research into their roles and all that kind of good stuff. And, some of the horror stories that they, told me about what went on over there, that they would get third-hand accounts from the people that lived through it. It was staggering. It was something that sure, you watch a Vietnam movie and it's almost like being there, but no,
not even remotely.
No, and the interesting thing is, in 5 Days of War, they didn't use a whole hell of a lot of visual effects.
No. It was character piece, sort of, yeah. More than that.
And, for Rennie Harlan, that was kind of surprising to me because most of his stuff usually has more in terms of effects and that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, so it was definitely a different taste.
Right.
Well, film.
That's another thing that's, again, why I love this show. And this is one of my, there have been so many shows that have been emotionally draining. Oh, yeah. That after the show and the guests and the topics, when we did the show on suicide, you know, with rapper OG Suicide, how he actually survived that suicide attempt.